Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation for the day is the 30th stanza of Jup Pauri, which is read as follows. Eka mai jugt vyai, teri chele parwan, ik sansari, ik pandari, ik laye diban, jiv tis pavai, ਤਿਵੈ ਚਲਾਵੈ ਜਿਵ ਹੋਵੈ ਫੁਰਮਾਨ ਉਹ ਵੇਖੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਦਰ ਨ ਆਵੈ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਇਹੋ ਵਿਡਾਨ ਆਦੇਸ ਤਿਸੈ ਆਦੇਸ ਆਦ ਅਨੀਲ ਅਨਾਦ ਅਨਾਹਤ ਜੁਗ ਜੁਗ ਏਕੋ ਵੇਸ. This Pauri continues the discussion, or at least the addressing to the yogis that Guru Nanak appears to be delivering. And the word mai, the opening word in this stanza, is something to pay attention to because it has multiple connotations in Gurbani. It is used for the mind, and it's also used for the goddess Shakti, force or energy, who's worshipped as the Divine Mother by the yogis in question. The yogis believed that this power lay dormant in the individual like a coiled snake, called it Kundalini, that must be aroused through Hatha Yoga or forced union, pranayam, breathing techniques, tantric practices to achieve spiritual liberation. This is also seen as a union of what they called Shiv Shakti, the dynamic energy coming to imbue the inner consciousness. Now, the word Mai is also used to denote Maya, the notion of a magical force through which the Creator involves itself with the world of matter. Now, in this passage, Guruji appears to be using Mai in multiple ways, and we'll see how that comes out. So in the very first line, he's using it in the sense of Maya as the force that creates the world of time and space. And it does so by bringing forth or producing children. Eka mai jugt vyai, tin chele parwan. So through some process, this Mai or Maya conceives and brings forth chele. Chele means children or offspring, but in this line it should be understood to mean principles. So in Hindu thought, these principles are denoted by the trinity of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, the creative, the preservative, and the destructive processes of creation, respectively. A point to note here is that tin in this line should not be read as three. It is a pronoun indicating that which brought forth the offspring. So it is a reference to Mai. Eka Mai Chuktvai Tin. This Mai brought forth these principles. So Maya, in this concept, conducts the affairs of the world through the harmony of these three principles. And this is reflected in the continuous spectacle of change that goes about, the coming into being and the passing out of being, and with a small moment of existence in between. So this first line is, in a way, a restatement of the yogi's position. But then now Guruji comes to the second line and presents his view, which counters the idea that it is these three that are running the world. He says, Ik sansari, ik pandari, ik laye diban. Now the word sansari, again, has several connotations, meaning the creator of the world, or worldly attachments. We read it here to mean the one creator. Ik Bhandari. Bhandari, as we have discussed, means a treasure trove. Again, refers to qualities, virtues of the divine. Again, there is just one source of sustenance. Ik Lai Diban. There's only that same Ik one that is actually sitting in judgment. So the terms that are commonly used for Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, Sansari, Pandari, and Laya Divan, the Guru is telling us by appending Ik to each one of these qualifiers, he's emphasizing the primacy of Hukam, the cosmic will, over these deities. He says that these deities are simply acting at the behest of Hukam with no autonomy of their own. Then he goes on to add, as if to emphasize, Jiv tis pave, tive chalave, jiv hove furman. As it pleases the Creator, that's how it runs the universe. And that's how it commands the universe. Furman. Then Guruji shifts to indicate that Maya is reflected in the human mind as ignorance. And what is that ignorance? The ignorance is where the ego, our haume, is mistaken to be the real thing, to be our mool, so to speak. In other words, this ignorance that Maya casts over us conceals the true nature of things. O vikhe, ona nazar na aave. Bahta e vidan. That is the great fascination and the great wonder of this existence, the Guruji says, because the Creator beholds everything, but we cannot see it. However, those who are imbued with Guru wisdom, this flux that they see around them is not meaningless, but they recognize it to be the play of Hukam. However, O Nazar na Aave means that the multitudes do not grasp this insight. There is another perspective to this stanza, which is worthy of mention here. This view takes Mai to mean the mind. And this viewpoint is based on the assumption that we must contextualize these pauris, rightly so, in our opinion, to the theme of an evolved consciousness that is being developed by Guruji in these previous passages, and should therefore connect with that theme. So if we view this stanza from the perspective of my meaning the mind, then the passage would read somewhat as follows. That is, the enlightened mind, that is a mind which is not fragmented, but is an integral whole, eka mai, the mind that is one, meaning where the self and the ego self have sort of merged and the ego is dead. This kind of a mind has found the method, the jugat, the teaching or discernment of gurmat, through which it is able to then achieve desirable objectives. Tin chele parwan. Chele, remember, we said is outcomes. Parwan is acceptable. So this sort of mind is now in a position to bring about desirable outcomes. And so this enlightened mind then deals in the world of qualities, sansari. It deals in that world of qualities where the creator sansari is implied to mean the treasure trove of these qualities. And this mind then becomes the Bhandari by virtue of its judgment, because it knows how to discern the counterfeit from the real. This mind is then able to direct the flow rather of events because it is attuned to the judgment within. Jiv tis pave tive chalave. So it is attuned to hukam and it works accordingly, according to the command. Through the grace of hukam, such a mind then has the capacity to evaluate all vices or undesirable outcomes, and they cease to happen. They disappear. Such is the magic. O vekha, o na nadar na ave, bhavta e vidan. We leave it to you, the listener and the reader, to decide the merits of both these perspectives. Our sense is that both views can coexist. In Gurmat, we will find that it is not always a matter of binary logic. It's not always this or that. It can also be this and that. Until the next time, we leave you with these thoughts. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.